So, you want to start a side hustle without quitting your job. So, how do you go about doing that? So, in this video, I want to talk about some of the steps that you can utilize today that'll help you get to where you're looking for. So, let me know at the end of the video in the comments below what you're thinking, what you think of these tips, and if you think they're practical. Before you even think about starting a side hustle, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, why do I want to do this? What is my why? What is my purpose? Why am I going to complicate my life even more so? For example, if you are working in 9 to 5, chances are you have a lot of things going on during the day. You're very tired. Perhaps you work in corporate America. It's very demanding. So no doubt it's very difficult. So when you come home, you probably are not looking forward to be on the computer to even work or do more work. Most people want to come home, they want to relax, maybe cook some dinner. You want to go to the gym, spend time with your family, right? But here you are, you're thinking to yourself, man, I want to start a new side hustle. I want to start something new. So what is my why? Your why could be, perhaps you want financial independence. You want more money. Your why could be, well, I want to pay off this debt that's killing me. I want to make more money to be able to pay this debt. Or you want to feed your creative outlet, right? That could be another one. What's another one? Perhaps you're thinking, I just want to be my own boss. It is now time more than ever to be my own boss. See, highlighting your why is going to be very important, and it's going to also fuel your drive, because like I said in the beginning, it is not impossible to start a side hustle ultimately that becomes, a business, but it's a lot of work and it's hard. So therefore, there will be bumps on the road, there will be difficulties. So you pretty much, once you define your why, you're going to need this why to keep you motivated. Let's take an example. Say, for example, working your regular job, you come home, maybe you take a little break, get a little bite to eat, and now you're getting on the computer, you're working on your side hustle. But you know what? Man, you wish you had 50 orders or 100 orders. Nah, after all that work, all that energy, you're still struggling at 2-3 orders. So your brain automatically says, man, I only have 2-3 orders. I wish I had 50 orders, all that effort, and nothing is happening. But see, you're not seeing the bigger picture here. A couple months ago, you had 0 orders, and now you have 2-3 orders. So it's baby steps, right? And we'll talk about baby steps a little later. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have those difficult moments, right, during your, those moments that you're trying to define that why. When you have those difficult moments, that why is what's going to help you to continue to progress even when times get tough. The second thing you want to keep in mind also, you want to keep it simple. You want to start small. A lot of times you see people, they're looking on the internet, they're going on YouTube, they're trying to figure out, what is it that other people are doing? What is it that I can do in order to perhaps get to where I'm trying to be? And then they get into these, these fields that they really don't know how things work. They don't have the experience. Now, I'm not saying that you can't apply yourself to learn a new skill, but what are the skills that you have today that you can use to your advantage? Say, for example, you have an office job. You're pretty good at computers. You can answer phones. You're a good writer. Those are your skills. Perhaps you have a good brain to analyze things. You're really good at that. Perhaps you're really good at sales. So think of yourself and think of the skills that you've gained, that you learned, that you can apply to your side hustle or your future business. I'll give you an example. So a couple years ago, when I was thinking about making the shift to employee to employer, I was thinking about what were some of my skills. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, so okay. Well, I definitely can count. I definitely learn quick. I can definitely talk to people. I can write well. Okay. And I don't know. I just appreciate helping people. So of course, now I run a bookkeeping firm. I wasn't always bookkeeping. I actually transitioned from finance to marketing, from marketing back to finance today. But my point is, you want to think about the skills that you have. So perhaps, I don't know, you love photography and you would like to start a business doing photography. Now, I know photographers will probably come after me in the comments. It's a hard business. I get it. But the point of it is just find that thing that you're already good at. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, because honestly, you don't have the time to try and learn a whole new thing, because again, you want to stay balanced. You already have a job. You already have a 9 to 5. And if you have a family, time spent with family is very important. So let's say, here's another good one. Let's say you love to bake, right? You're proud of those cookies that you make. Well, why don't you start making a batch of cookies and really start testing what's really good? Start testing your recipes, right? And start sharing them with your families, your neighbors. What do they think? Let these people tell you, right, how good or how bad your product is, right? It's easier to hear the criticism from them. And if they're really honest, they'll let you know specifically, what they think about your product. So take your time to do that. So once you do that, once you feel comfortable, then you can move on to the next step. Another thing that will help you in your quest to start a business, start your side hustle, is how good are your time management skills. Okay, so this one's a little bit important. Why? Well, don't forget, you have a 9 to 5. So during the day, you're working hard, your regular day job. When you come home, right, what you do from right, it's this new trend right now. You're 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5, right? So it's basically what people are doing after work when they get home, and how they're using that time to be, right, to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? To be effective, or to not waste time, so to speak. So your 5 to 9 is very important, right? So what are you doing during that time, right? You want to set some time for yourself. You want to spend time, set some time aside for your family. That's important. But during that time, right, that's going to be the time for you to, put your head down, get your notebook, get your pen, and start writing out the plan. How are you going to get there? What is it that you're going to need? Or, right, if it's the weekends, right, your weekends are probably going to be busy trying to do everything that you can in order to get that side hustle off the ground. And to be honest with you, in the beginning I said it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult. And sometimes it means you're going to sacrifice time away from family, you're going to sacrifice time away from friends. And if they love you and they're real friends and you're honest with them and tell them, look, I just can't do this right now because I'm trying to do that, because I'm trying to get there, they'll understand. And in fact, they'll support you. Good friend will probably tell you, what, is there anything I can do to help you? If you're not really serious about, getting your business off the ground, it's going to show very quickly. Because you know what? You're going to do it for a month, 2, 3 months, and then you don't see the results. Then, you're going to give up. And then you're just going to continue with your 9 to 5, having your dreams and seeing everybody just, progressing while you're pretty much still stuck where you are. You have to manage your time effectively. You got to manage your time in a way that you really take advantage of every minute, of every second of your life. Now, I do not buy into this notion that you have to kill yourself until you get to a certain point. Because honestly, your health is very important as well. Sleep is very important. Now, in the beginning, about 15 years ago, when I put in my mind that I wanted to be self-employed, I wanted to start my own business. Of course, I was a lot younger. And I remember what I was doing is I would work my 9 to 5 job. I would come home. I'd probably work out for a little bit. And then at the time, my wife and I, we probably were newlyweds. Yeah, we were newlyweds. And, we'll have dinner and then, go shopping or do whatever we need to do. Then I'll be home. We get home and then boom, I start working on the business. And I would probably stay up till 1:30, 2 a.m. sometimes. I remember when there was this long stretch when I was staying up till almost 3 in the morning. And I would go to sleep and I would wake up around 7 and I had to be in the office by 8:30. Very little sleep. And I'll never forget one time I went to the doctor for some reason. Something was a little higher than normal. And she actually asked me about my sleep, and I was telling her, and you know what? Even talking with her, I still felt great. And I remember what she said. She said, eventually it's going to catch up to you. So sleep is very important. And I'm 40 years old now. And back then I was thinking, what? No. But, she was right, because in fact, it took me a while to get back to a normal sleep cycle. So I say this to say, yes, we're going to make efforts. Yes, it's going to work. It's going to be hard work. Yes, there will be some nights where you have to do a little bit extra, but don't do it to the point where you're sacrificing your health. Because health, honestly, is very important. Your health is your wealth. And if you're not healthy, honestly, you're not going to go far. So be balanced, but manage your time in such a way that you're staying effective in order to help you to continue to progress to get this business off the ground. So another topic I want to address on your quest to starting your own business or your side hustle, progressing it, is the need to keep your day job. So this video specifically addresses you wanting to start a business or a side hustle, but you can't afford to leave your job, because you see, you want to use your job, right, to continue to feed that side hustle, right? The other thing also to keep in mind is you do not want your side hustle to interfere with your day job. So what do I mean by that? Now, there's a fine line between being responsible and just, stealing time from your employer, right? So you want to be ethical when it comes to that. I'll give you an example. So say, for example, you have a sales job, right? And you're using the company's computer, company's phone, and perhaps during business hours, you are answering emails, perhaps from your own business. Now, I'll have to admit, I am guilty of this. I remember when I was working my 9 to 5, I remember clients from my other company at the time. I was growing a company. At the time it was a marketing company. Clients would actually email me, and I would get the email, and then I would, open a new browser and then go on there and respond their emails, or respond their questions, or whatever the case might be. And, as I got older and wiser, I used to think, man, like, how would I feel if I'm paying an employee and this employee, instead of working their jobs, they're actually using company time to build their own company. Now, I'm not the moral police, but for me, I started thinking about it and I started thinking, man, that's actually kind of messed up. See, I started thinking like an employer, and I needed to, if I was going to succeed, I needed to do it right. So, what did I do? I knew I still needed a job. I had a pretty good paying job, so I needed a job, and I needed to, be responsible because I had a family. So if I wasn't responsible and whatever happened at that job, I get fired, and here I am, unemployed and having difficulties to make ends meet. So what I ended up doing pretty much was this. I ended up in the very, very beginning, yes, I was answering emails while I was at work. And then immediately I went ahead and stopped that, probably about 2-3 months or so. And then I started waiting for lunchtime. So during my lunchtime, that's when I would actually go back, check my emails, maybe answer phone calls, or reply to phone calls if I needed to. So like, I remember sometimes somebody needed to talk, there was an issue, or I had an appointment. So I would always set up these calls around my lunchtime, and I would try to make them 15 to 20 minutes. And then, if I was signing up a client, I would have those calls very short, because I had my pitch down as well. And then what I would do afterwards is, in the afternoon, if I was taking a break, I'd go in my car, I have my laptop, and then just answer emails that way. So, man, my day was just very full and very busy. Remember, I said it's going to be very difficult, it's going to be very hard. So you don't want to mess up the good relationship that you have with your manager, especially if you have a manager that's pretty cool, he's relaxed, he's not micromanaging you. So you want to be morally, I don't know. You make your own decision when it comes to that. But I know for me, I appreciated that I've always had good managers. They weren't on my back, and I felt that I did not want to. I wanted to continue to earn their trust, right? So you don't want to mess that up. So basically, you still have your job, right? You're still making some money with your job, and you want to keep that intact, because at the end of the day, if your side hustle doesn't work out, you still have your job to go back to, and you know what? You can start all over again if you need to. But if your side hustle is starting to grow and you need to put in a little more money into it to get it to continue to grow, right? You still need your job. So don't mess up what you currently have right now. Let's talk about another point now. So you want to build gradually. So what does that mean? So building gradually, it's like a pyramid, right? They don't start from the top to the bottom, start from the bottom to the top, right? So it's gradual. So adding little blocks, slowly but surely. If you are, for example, trying to, if you're, let's go back to the example of baking. So if you are a baker and you make the best cookies in the world, stick to 1 or 2 flavors. Nothing crazy. 1 or 2 flavors. Very simple. Try it out. How many people like it, right? Get the feedback. They love it. Well, you know what? Now you've got your proof of concept. From there, bake more cookies of the same kind that people really like. And then you grow from there. So perhaps that one or that first flavor or that second flavor, that's really what's gonna take the business off, right? So you start with these 2. That's your start. So you're building gradually. You're not going to start with 10 different flavors and spend all your money and then try to see, which one sticks. Now, figure out that one star, one or two. That's it, one or two. If it's just one, it's probably even better, but one or two. Is it good? Is it great? Is it excellent? People love it. Great. So make more of it. And then, of course, all the money that you're making, the profit that you're making from selling these cookies, right? Don't go ahead and start a bunch of crazy, save that money or reinvest it into the business. Maybe you want to get better equipment to make more of the same cookie, right? You're not making more of different flavors, but you're making more of that same cookie because it works, right? People love it, it works, stick to it. Now, once you get it to a level where, wow, I mean, it is in such high demand, people just love it so much. Now I can quit my job, devote more time to this business. Now it's no longer a side hustle, it's a business, it's a company. I need more help. Now you're reinvesting all your money into the business. A company that does this really well is In-N-Out. I mean, think about this business model. The menu has changed very little. This company has been around for many years. 1, 2, 3, that's it. You go there, you know what you're getting, you know what it's gonna taste like. It's consistent. I mean, that consistency that they have, honestly, it's probably one of the best I've seen. And that example really shows you, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And that company, for sure, their business model is not broken, so they're not going to fix it. They're going to continue. And that is why when you go to an In-N-Out, all these employees are super happy and excited to be there. So keep it simple. Build gradually. Don't just jump and trying to do a bunch of stuff all at once. Because remember, you still have your 9 to 5, still have a normal life. You just pacing yourself and getting to that point where you can leave that side hustle, you leave your regular job, and that side hustle now becomes your day-to-day job. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to mention on this is you want to take advantage of a lot of the tools that are available to you today. So social media, online shops, right? Like Etsy, for example, or Shopify. I mean, today it is so much easier to sell your products or whatever it is, or your services online more than ever. Like when I was starting out 15 years ago, things were not as accessible as they are today. So take advantage of that and really make a lot of research and see what really fits your business model and what you're trying to accomplish. For example, you want to use social media to get the word out, right? You want to get the word out. You want people to know that this product that you have, it's great, it's the best, you're excited about it. Everybody else in town is excited about it, and I want to tell you and show you why you should be excited about it too, right? So use social media to really get the word out. Yeah, people have their different feelings about social media. I have my feelings about it too, but at the end of the day, it's a great tool. It connects people. It really helps businesses 100%. Now, over the years, I've actually been pretty shy actually on social media. I really don't do social media much, but I've gotten to a point now where I've realized that, you know what, if I want to get to a point where my business needs to go at another level, what is it that I haven't done or I haven't tried? I think I'm more the mindset of old school marketing. So I pay for ads, I run my campaigns, I look at my ROI, and I'm happy about it. And then everything's paused because, I'm not a huge company, just have a couple of people on staff, and it works. I'm not trying to complicate things, not trying to complicate life, right? But I've also realized that my business has been stagnant for quite some time now. And I asked myself, well, what is it that I haven't done, right? A lot of people always tell me, oh man, you're so you're so nice, you're so kind, you should start doing YouTube. And, for a while I've heard that, and I just never really was interested into doing that, because my business has survived, and I imagine it'll continue to survive without social media. But I also realized that you do need social media, right? Because unfortunately, if you're trying to get new clients, there's a generation, of course, that's coming behind me, and they grew up in the social media age. They grew up in the digital age. So they're going to look to that and for that in order to make a decision. So I'm a little late to the game, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So in fact, kind of to stick to that point, I remember about 10 years ago, I remember thinking, and that was at the time when I was running our marketing agency. I know, right? Marketing. And sometimes clients would ask, hey, like, we want to do social media. Well, we don't do social media. We're a straight lead gen company, and that's all we do. You need leads, we'll help you get leads. And that's what we did. And business was fine. Company, did fine until I was able to sell the company a couple of years later. But I remember thinking, man, if we actually had done a lot of this, YouTube and social media, Instagram or whatever, I mean, where would the company be today, right? But anyway, I've learned. Anyway, going back to the topic of the subject, I feel like I'm going away now. But basically, you want to use what's available. So now I definitely want you to take advantage of all the tools that are available for you, right, to grow your side hustle. But there's a little bit, there's something that you have to be careful of, though. You want to make sure that even though you're growing your side hustle, you're trying to get that thing off the ground, that you're not violating any policies with your company, right? So for example, you're not directly competing with your company, because imagine, if you're working for, I don't know, let's go back to the bakery. If you're a baker, right? If you're working for a baker, and here you are at home making your own cookies, right? And maybe that's competition. You're the competition now, right? I mean, how would the owner of the shop would feel if that was the case, right? So be smart. Don't make those mistakes. We've made it to the end of the video, and if you made it this far, thank you very, very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. So what did we talk about today? So you want to know your why. You want to know why you're doing this. You want to know your purpose. You want to start small. You want to keep it simple. You definitely want to know how to manage your time effectively. You also want to make sure that you do not mess up your good job, because you need your job, right, in order to fund this side hustle. And then lastly, of course, you want to build gradually, and of course, take advantage of all the tools that are available to grow your side hustle. So again, thank you very much for watching this video. And if you found it helpful, I encourage you to like it, to subscribe, and to share it. That's pretty much how you can support me and support the channel. So thank you very, very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.